Okay, here you go, people. This is a video for a couple of you who've requested the wiring diagram for how I set this up. I don't have a diagram, but I'll show you exactly what I used and how I used it to get all these motors to work. Okay, and this is also sort of a part 2 for the video that I used to build this and show you guys all of the source materials I used to get it all together. So this is the workstation with the 6-cup turners on the front. As you can see, I unplugged it and pulled it away from the wall so I can get back there and show you guys how it looks. Now, here's the motors and the switches that I used that I also referenced, okay? And then the black cord here is basically the extension cord, or the cord that I used. All right, so going over to the actual plug, I just zip tied it to the side. It's a standard plug, but what is most important is that it's 2 cables. So I just took an X-Acto knife or something sharp and I split them apart. Okay, so you have 2 individual cables, one side and then the other side. And for those of you who are asking which side is positive, what side is negative, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so here's where I split it off. You can see, and it was just, and then I zip tied the one side to the top and then the other side to the bottom, okay, where the motors are running along. All right, now you're gonna need a pair of wire cutters. Let me go. So these are the wire cutters that you're gonna need, all right, to basically strip the wire down but not cut through the actual wire, okay? So you'll use that to remove the shielding off of the wire, all right? So without cutting through the wire, you're gonna use an X-Acto knife and then the wire strippers to remove the shielding. You're going to peel it back, and then you're going to solder the switch. I used the left side of this. Yeah, I used the left side of the switch from each one, and I soldered it to the top. And I used the right side of the switch to the motor lead. Okay, and then as you can see from the motors, you can't really tell which side is left coming where it comes out. So I just separated the wires, and the one that came out on the right side was the one that I used to solder to the switch. Okay, so basically, and then the wire on the left side of the motor is soldered to the bottom cable. Okay, and this goes back to the plug. So basically, when you activate the switch, or when you switch the switch on, it completes the circuit, and it allows power to go to the motor, to turn the motor. All right, but it's all individual, since each switch either applies or cuts off that power source, because that's what the switch does. All right, so otherwise, if you had the right motor wire and the left motor wire soldered directly to the actual cables, they would continuously be powered. It would have power all the time, or all the, every time the plug is plugged up, all motors would be running. The switch just allows you to break that circuit, which allows you to switch on each motor individually in this complete circuit. So it looks complicated, but it's not really complicated. All right, so the hardest part that I felt was stripping the actual cable without breaking through the wire. That you really have to be careful with. If you want to use a tool to heat up the plastic so you can peel it back real easy without cutting through the wire, the copper wire, that'll work. But like I said, the wire cutters are the most important thing. These right here, you're gonna need these. All right, they're really cheap. I'm not sure. I think maybe $10 or so off of Harbor Freight. But this is a tool that you need. So just to recap, you have your bottom cable and your top cable. This is your power cord. All right, and the left side the blue cable coming from the left is going to the power cable, and the blue cable coming from the right is going to the right switch cord. And then the left switch cord is going to the top cord. This is power, okay? That's exactly how I have it hooked up. All right. So if any of you have any other specific questions about the setup, please let me know, and I'll definitely address those and get that posted up for you. All right.